For more, we turn to former Pentagon official Michael Maloof. Michael, thank you for being here.
Sure.
So the summit was cut short. They ended abruptly. Both presidents and the president and chairman walked away. Some are calling it a failure, while others are saying there's hope as long as there continues to be dialogue. Would you call it a failure?
No, I would not. I mean, I think that as long as they can talk, that's fine. They're already talking about a third summit. I mean, the problem with this is that you don't want to have these summits without prior preparation, and because things are supposed to be resolved at that point. What happens when the two leaders don't come to an agreement on something? Where do you go from there? So that's a problem. They've got to work this thing out and try to get more staff activity. And I think what happened here is that when you listen to why this thing didn't work, you hear both sides talking past each other as to the reasons why, and that's problematic.
Well, and we've seen this before after the first summit. Tensions kind of escalated a little bit again, and now they're back down. Could we see this again? We don't know. But interestingly enough, Nancy Pelosi, Speaker of the House, and Minority Leader Chuck Schumer both had responses for this and gave President Trump a little bit of credit. Take a listen to what they said.
President Trump did the right thing by walking away and not cutting a poor deal for the sake of a photo op. Just like the president, I want to deal with North Korea that would bring an end to the conflict.
I guess it took two meetings for him to realize that Kim Jong-un is not on the level. He was a big winner, Kim Jong-un, in getting to sit face-to-face with the most powerful person in the world, the President of the United States. And really, it's good that the President did not give him anything for the little that he was proposing.
Do these surprise you?
No, not at all. When the Democrats were in power, in a position of leadership, like Obama, what did they accomplish? They didn't even have meetings. So at least they're meeting here, and they're laying some groundwork here. There's a thaw. There hasn't been any missile tests. There hasn't been any nuke tests. That's a beginning. Yeah, you're not going to have denuclearization. It probably won't happen at all. But I think that ultimately, for various reasons, I might say, I mean, it's very, very complicated. But the reality is that the tensions have lessened on the peninsula, and that's important.
Well, and I think that's why people are hopeful, because there is still dialogue.
Oh, yeah.
And even Pompeo said, you know, he hopes there will be maybe a round 3 summit.
Oh, there could be.
But do you think it's reasonable what both of these were asking for? President Trump asking for complete denuclearization and Chairman Kim asking for a complete lift of sanctions.
Yeah, it all begins with how do you define denuclearization? Each side had their own definition of denuclearization. Pompeo and company wanted total denuclearization. The idea of denuclearization for the North Koreans was move your troops out and all your forces, and that's a form of denuclearization in their eye. Problem for Kim is that he's got internal issues. He's got his whole idea is for survival, family survival, and he also has internal dissension with more hardened people internally, and he's got to stay tough. He's got to show resolve. And if he turned into another Saddam Hussein or Gaddafi and didn't have any and lost his total leverage, then the concern is what happened to those two guys.
It's true, and people are still optimistic. The dialogue's continuing.
Yeah.
Could there be a third summit? Whether or not there is a third summit, do you see, like Scott even mentioned, other Asian countries joining in that summit?
Yeah, I see. Well, South Korea may just go off on its own. It may start doing its own thing, but it's not necessarily going to mean they're going to do more economic, political type of stuff.
Do you think they'll do that even in spite of U.S.?
Given President Moon's disposition, yeah. But the bottom line is North Korea is not going to denuclearize.
Well, we'll have to. Hopefully, there's a third summit. Former
Yes.
Pentagon official Michael Maloof, thank you so much.
Pleasure.
Hey YouTube, thanks for checking out our channel. We hope you enjoyed the video. We have tons of content for you just like this. For more of RT America's one-of-a-kind news and analysis, be sure to subscribe and never stop questioning more.